Hello everyone, it's me again, Anyway Black Swan, and I'm back again with another video. In this video, it's gonna be like a tutorial. It's updated of my everyday makeup looks, and this lighting, child, I don't know how I'm looking to you. Yeah, I don't. Okay, before we get into the makeup tutorial, I want to give a brief shout out to today's sponsor, which is Dossier's Fragrance. Okay, they reached out to me and they allowed me to go on their line and pick out what fragrances I liked. And basically, they made it so easy. I basically just went into my own makeup collection and then I read off the notes of the perfumes I already had and I matched it to the ones that they have on the website. So,
Dossier is a cruelty-free fragrance designer that gives luxury scents at a jaw-dropping price. Catering to every fragrance lover, you have your pick of scents inspired by your favorite brands, such as Tom Ford, Creed, Marc Jacobs, Chanel, and many more. With Dossier, your purchase is risk-free. Order up to 5 scents at a time and get free shipping on 3 bottles or more. Orders come with a 2 milliliter sample. If you do not receive your sample, that is no problem. You can still test the full-size bottle, and if you don't like it, if the purchase is within the first 30 days, you can still return it. No questions asked. Also, if you're not sure which scent is the right one for you, please take the questionnaire quiz available at dossier.com and get matched right now.
okay, so don't worry about my hair. I'll be fixing that later. Speedy way to do my eyebrows. I will take a eyebrow brush with the spoolie on it, or just the spoolie by itself. I make sure I comb through my eyebrows. By the way, I'm skipping around. By the way, my face is freshly washed and moisturized. Mind you, the best moisturizer that you can have in your makeup kit is a bottle of water. A bottle of water. Hydration comes from within. I take the spoolie and then I'll take, this is my it's like really rough, but this is my Anastasia Beverly Hills Dip Down Pomade, and it's in the color dark brown, and some of y'all might not like this technique, but it's fine because it works. If you don't like it, you can just do your eyebrows the way you prefer, but this is the new way that I do it, especially when I'm like trying to run out the door, or I just get tired of doing my eyebrows all the time. So I just take it, dip it in the pomade, and then I just sweep it through my hair. I just comb it through the hair. It doesn't look super even. I'm just basically just smearing it on my eyebrows. And then I take the darkest part, of course, I'll take the darker part of the pomade and I do it a little heavier at the tail end. And then what's ever left on the brush, I'll sweep it into the eyebrow. I should have did a different color because of this hair. I should have did a different color of eyebrow because of this hair. But you know what, that's fine. We're already here. We're already here. It's gonna be fine. Don't worry about it. I'm gonna sweep it in, and I like doing this. You know what? I've actually done this with a pencil before. Like I just took well, not a pencil, but like, you know what, eyebrow pencil, like, you know, like a brow wiz, and I just marked it through, and then I combed it out with the spoolie, and I got the same results. I got the exact same results. So this is just so much quicker, and I just make sure that it is not blotchy and it is distributed evenly throughout the eyebrow. Okay, so anyway, I'm gonna use the ColourPop Pretty Fresh, usually a drugstore, to carve my eyebrows, and I'm gonna take a flat brush. This part has not changed. The way I carve out my eyebrows, this has definitely not changed. I make sure I coat both sides of the brush, the flat brush. Mind you, this brush is from ColourPop too. It's an E4. anything that's a flat brush, girl, okay? So I'll take that, and then with the product still on it, this part gets a little messy, but you wanna make sure you pinch it to make sure it is super flat. I am resting my hand on my face, and I'm gonna start slowly chiseling away right below the bottom line of my eyebrow. Just real light hands. Light hands, okay? Nothing heavy. Don't be rough with your face. And I'm just slowly just chiseling that away, going along the bottom line of my eyebrow. I'll leave a little space for manipulation. When I'm doing my mirror is at a constant tilt. When you look down, your lines are a little bit crisper when it comes to your eyebrows when you're outlining them. It's like you can see exactly where you want your arch a little bit easier than if you look dead forward into a mirror. So just FYI, if you can afford to get one of those standing mirrors with a light on it, do that. If you don't, just go into a room with really good lighting, and or just take a mirror and sit in front of your window with natural lighting. Natural lighting is probably honestly the best lighting you can get anyway. So as you can see, both of them, they have the little gap. So now I can start chiseling away at the eyebrow as much or as little as I want to, just depending on my mood. I don't know how it's gonna go, but you know, it just gives yourself grace. So like if you take too much off too soon, it's harder to redo than to just adjust. Because right now I can just make small adjustments versus if I just went in and like, you know, took too much off of the filler of my eyebrow, then I have to clean it up. Like I have to put more filler in, clean up with the makeup. Like I have to keep going back and forth. So doing it this way, it does feel tedious at first, but it's gonna save you time at the end because you don't have to correct as much. If that makes any sense. So now I'm just gonna go in and start shaping these up. And then when I get the shape that I want on the bottom part, I'll start tapping down the concealer so I won't have any harsh lines. I start patting it and tapping it down. You see I'm dragging it down into my eyelid, and then I also drag it into my, what's that thing called? The bridge of my nose. I start doing that. And then also I'm gonna flick it at the end. I'm gonna drag that out. It's also gonna help me when I'm carving out the top part of my eyebrow. That's gonna help with that. Or if you're one of the girls who are like blessed with like thick eyebrows, you can just honestly comb this part up and then leave it like that. Comb it up. You can comb this part up, just make it stick up, and then just kind of like lightly brush down the top part, and then you have like a natural look. But if you don't like the natural looking brow, then you can do the makeup on the top. But I mean, you have your options. Mind you, this everyday look for a lot of people is going to be considered a heavy makeup look because a lot of people, they don't like putting that much makeup on their face, and that's okay. This is probably the video for you though. Okay, I was gonna go ahead and say that. This probably is not the video for you. Oh yeah, I'm taking this ColourPop F11 brush and I'm using this to buff out and pat down the rest of this concealer. Kind of smooth out any of the lines so it'll be easier to blend out as I'm doing the foundation. Okay, next is foundation. Yep, right after this, I don't even go in on the top. I don't even go in on the top. I go right into the foundation, right into it. So what I do is I have to mix these two because I always do. So I'm mixing my Morphe Fluidity foundation, it's $7 on the website right now. These are mattifying foundations. They are very buildable. These are full coverage. You can literally, if you wanted to, you could put it on your face like lotion and have a light coverage and just be like, you know, touch up a little bit here and there, or you can go in. I put it on the back of my hand, I mixed it, those two colors, and I'm taking this Real Techniques RT 200 brush. This brush is amazing, and I'm gonna first mix them, and then I'm gonna start stapling it into my face. The only thing I do have to say about this foundation is that it took me a while to actually learn how drastic it oxidizes, because all foundations oxidize on me, but not at the same rate. Like some will oxidize just a tad bit, and then some will turn into a whole different color. Like, and then some, like this one, it's in between. So I've been using this enough to understand the in between and how much of what I can put on to match me. People think, like, I've had some people actually think that like it's my skin. I'm like, girl, no, no, it's not. Maybe she's born with it, maybe it's not. Oh, if y'all don't follow me, baby, you know I was beauty blender forever. Like I was like, ooh, beauty blender, that's me. All day I was beauty blending it out. No. Beauty blenders are a lot of work. I'm not saying that they're horrible. I'm just saying they are a lot of maintenance because you have to wash them frequently. Like I was washing mine almost after every use. Because if you're like a heavy makeup wearer, like me, wearing full coverage, my beauty blenders were in heavy rotation. And then I felt like I was spending so much time washing them. I'm wasting so much water. Okay, I'm doing my eyebrows now, the top part. This is the time that I do them. If I feel like doing it, sometimes I don't. The same flat brush I used to carve them out, I'll use it and then dip it into my foundation. And I'm tilting my head, just makes it easier for me to do my swiping motions. So, like scissors, cutting through wrapping paper, I'm gonna do one motion. And I'm just following the outline of my eyebrow, just like that. As I'm doing my eyebrows, I will keep going back with my foundation brush and pushing that foundation in. This is actually setting the foundation. Laying the brush flat, like hand, and I am going to sweep it across the border of this eyebrow. And I'm just gonna keep going until it is the desired shape that I like. And sweeping motions. I don't even think y'all can see concealer. This concealer, TikTok made me buy it. This is the Nude Stick Concealer. This concealer I've worn it with setting powder, like I've set it with powder, and I've also just pat it down dry. Either way, it works amazingly. Doesn't crease. It looks really good. It doesn't crease. They actually didn't have my color, so I got Nude 6, and it still looks good. Like this is honestly, I could have went deeper, which I did want to, but girl, she was sold out. And also a little bit goes a long way. This is actually probably a lot for some people, but not for me. So yeah, I'm just putting it on my T-zones. I have to do a whole lot on my forehead. My forehead's already big, so I don't want to like over accentuate it. And then down the bridge of my nose. This is the key. The key is this brush right here. This brush got me through some days. This is the Real Techniques setting brush. It comes in a pack. I got it at Walgreens. It works amazingly. and it gets into the corners and the wrinkles very, very nicely. And I just pat it on. I just pat this all the way through. And I do the same thing that I did with my foundation. I just keep patting it down, going like as I'm moving along through my makeup, I'll pick up the brush again and I'll pat it down, dry some more. Like I'll let it sit, pat it down some more, let it sit, pat it down some more. And the key part is I'm making sure I'm looking up, because I notice that some of my friends out there, y'all be missing this little part right here. This little line, this little gap, like right on the edge of your lash line on the bottom. I notice y'all afraid to touch it. And y'all be having like empty space, voided space, and that's not cute. You gotta make sure if you want to look like skin, you can have space that's like empty, void of makeup. If you go wear it, put it all the way on, girl. You don't want your makeup to look like it's sitting on top. It is, but you don't want it to look like it. So if you can make it set into your pores, that's a good thing. I really don't want people to be like, oh wow, you have on makeup. I want to be like, oh, you look good. I want to look like a polished diamond. Even though I get it, even though no matter what I do, I'm still gonna, somebody's gonna be like, oh girl, that's too much. I don't want the majority of people, especially people who don't know makeup, to be like, oh my God, that is so much makeup. Like, I don't want people to be horrified at the layer of makeup. I just want them to at least be like, oh, she either has nice skin or her makeup is extremely nice. She looks nice and polished. This is my Morphe Illuminating Setting Spray. I know I have it in a different bottle because the bottle that I bought, the spray was jacked up. So I just dumped it in this other bottle. And it smells so good. Next, contour powder. Contour, I still like to use powder. Sometimes I'll use creams, but I still like powder because I notice, you see the back of my wig. I notice when I use creams, I will still notice harsh lines and or I have to do more work to get rid of the harsh lines. And then powder, if I'm hitting it with a light hand and a fluffy brush, it just blended. It's just gonna blend right in. It's just gonna. Oh yeah, I'm gonna take it into my eyebrow. So all this is gonna be contoured. Like here, all of this into here, and then all the way down here. It seems like a lot, but when I'm done, it just gives me a really nice shadow on my face. You'll see when I'm done, girl, you'll see. But I have a client and they have a more rounder face and they don't have defined cheekbones. What I'll do is I will take the contour and I think y'all probably already seen the technique, drop it down. I'll take it and I'll do this to give the illusion of more structure to their face. And then what I'm doing is I am taking it from my ear down. I'm just doing it fast though. I'm taking it here, down, and then I'm just circular motions moving it up, moving the powder up. And I'm holding it like this, so I'm not tempted to press down. Because when you press down, that gives you the blotchiness. The lighter the coating, the better it'll spread. So when you're holding your brush like this, see some girls, tell me I'm wrong. They're doing that. And I think when they're looking at themselves in the mirror, they don't see the unevenness, but when they go outside and other people are looking at the side of their face, especially when like they're in different types of lighting, they can see like maybe this part's really heavy and then this part's light and then this part's heavy, like, and then it's not moving up. So you'll see inconsistency in the contouring. So you want to make sure that you're using a light hand in circular motions and you're moving this up. Okay, so my sides are contoured. I don't want to go too heavy. The contour powder that I used was the the C8I, the Kai contour powder I found at the drugstore, like off a whim. I've been using this for a while. A little bit goes a long way because I've been using this for a minute. This actually is old, girl, and she's still here kicking it. But the Benefit Cosmetic little Holu, whatever they're called, HOOLA powders that come in like that little tiny square. Girl, don't let that little tiny square fool you. A little bit goes a long way. They stretch for a long time and their colors are amazing. They look so good. The range is amazing. So I recommend those if you're able to, if you have the budget. If you don't, who has that nice contour? Oh yeah, Morphe. I keep going to Morphe because I feel like it's available for everybody. Morphe has a nice deep shaded contour palette. It works good. I have it in my professional makeup kit, and they have a really nice blush palette. I recommend that, especially if you're dealing with skin tones that you need a bright range. If you're looking for something for a professional kit, and it's also in a healthy price range, you're not breaking the bank. So for my nose contour, you can either do reverse contouring, which is where you take the brush and then you take your contour powder and you just go all over your nose, and then take your powder and then chisel it out. Or you can take a blending brush from one of these patterns, like something that's detailed. You can do that. You can take something that's a flat, fluffy brush, or you can take an overall blending brush. I always gravitate to one of these three. Put in the same contour powder that I used on my cheeks, and then I take it from my eyebrow and I go all the way down. You can do it that way. If you're blending it out, make sure that you're taking it all the way into your eyebrow. You see how I'm taking it to my eyebrow? This is just my preference. Taking it to your eyebrow like this, and then I'm actually taking it into my lid. So the blending just will go. The blending keeps going, and then if I really want to, I'll take it into the contour that I had off to the side. And then on top of it, it's an eyeshadow. You're doing your eyeshadow, so your eyes are not voided, they're not left empty, because you're taking this all the way here. And then you don't have to worry about details because it's all blended in together. Time savers. You can just do reverse contouring, and reverse contouring is super easy. So basically, I'm just going to take my contour powder, right? A fluffy brush, and I'm just going to take it and I'm just going to put this all over my nose. I'm not taking, for me, I don't like taking it past my eyes. I don't take the powder past my eyes. I keep it on the bridge of my nose and down. So that's on there, and then what you're going to do, you have to take a powder. So if you are a face setter, where like, well, most of us, use some type of powder to set our face, but this will be a great time, like, to knock out the face setting. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna take your powder and put it on the edge of your nose. I'm doing this way more lightly than most. A lot of people will take a beauty blender and stamp on the powder. I'm taking my concealer brush and I'm doing it. And what I like to do is I'll take that powder and drag it right on the corner underneath my eye right here. The way my face is set up, because I have wrinkles and stuff, and it's real easy for me to look tired, I have to make sure that underneath my eyes are the brightest. Not all the way, right here. Right here. if I keep that looking the brightest out of everything on my face, I look so much more awake. Go back on my other videos and you'll see what I'm talking about. Because when all this is covered, for me, it drags my face down. It makes me look older. It makes me look tired. I don't mind looking old, but there's a difference between looking like worn out and mature. Like, I don't want to look worn out. I don't want my makeup to make me look worn out or worn down, because sometimes, like, that makeup, baby, will make you look 10 times older. Like you just been drinking Hennessy and smoking cigars your whole life. So the mascara that I'm using is the L'Oreal Paris Voluminous Carbon Black. This mascara has been my absolute favorite for years, and if it's not broke, I'm not gonna fix it. I'm not gonna fix it. So these lashes are Miss 3D lashes. This is probably gonna be my 4th time wearing them. These are a little fantastic, a little more than a lot of y'all will want to deal with. And I understand, because like long lashes is something that you really have to get used to. The eyelash glue that I am using is the Kiss, K-I-S-S. Got the drugstore. You know I like me some Walgreens. I be angry shopping at Walgreens all the time. So this is the Strip Lash adhesive. This is the latex free. I'm allergic to latex. This is the latex free eyelash glue, and it has aloe in it. And then I just coat the lash, and then when it starts to clear up a little bit, that's when I place it on me lid. All right, you see how these are kind of like, it's turning like a little clear, like it's not as white as it was. I don't want it to get completely transparent, because that means it dried up. So when it starts to look less white, that's when I know it's ready for me to apply it. So what I do is get my mirror, tilt it down. Let me see if I can get this camera like this. Tilt it down like this, and I look down. Sometimes I'll put the magnifying, like the big side, and then I put it right on top like a bookshelf. And then I tap in. Tap in. Tap. I don't know the sound, girl. That's the only part that I know is that tap in. Yeah. Every time. It's time to knock this off. It's time. It's set. It's done its job. I can take this off. It's giving me some good life right now. And then on top of it, I just put on some lipstick and we're out the door. I'm not gonna do no more. Oh, wait a minute. Let me put some on my mascara. Hold on. Let me do the bottom lash. Anything that you do after these steps, after this is done, after you apply, you do all the steps I just showed you, and then you apply the lashes. Whatever happens after that, I'm not responsible for it. Okay? So make sure you're taking your birth control. Make sure your Zelle app is active. You're gonna be looking really cute. Anything after this, anything you apply to after this, after now, it's after this, it's just gonna give you more. Okay, girl, this KK Beauty pencil is on its last leg. But this lip liner, this is the new 3 in the KK Beauty orange. This one and the Morphe lip liner Trendsetter have been my go-tos for brown lip liner.
Okay, so I had to grab some pictures for you guys of the finished look, but I really hope this video was helpful to you. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one. Bye.